Is Big Money Insights worth signing up for? Well, you tell me. Here's the low, April 10th. This is the tariff crash. What were we writing? What were we signaling to investors? If you can remember, a lot of people were worried. They were saying that economic doom was coming. But you know what? What we do is we analyze the evidence. And here is what our takeaway was at the market low. We talked about 15 extreme charts for April 25. First, wanted to highlight where we were in this correction. As you can see, the decline was right in the middle of what an average pullback is for the market. Number two, we noticed that it was one of the steepest drops ever. While people were panicking, we went back and said, you know what? What happens whenever the market drops roughly 6% in a day? What happens when the market drops 10.5% over 2 days? And we were telling our readers this is when you want to be buying stocks hand over fist. You weren't hearing that in the media. We also highlighted that there was one of the biggest pops ever that came after the drop. And you're like, well, did you miss the move? Absolutely not. We looked at the evidence, and here's what it showed. Whenever you have these big monster rips, they tend to come during these bear markets, and they are everything but bearish. Then we got into capitulation, looking at our moneyflows.com data. We are the only ones out there that can help you visualize capitulation. And guess what? It's a great time to buy stocks. We are telling people small caps, mid caps, large caps, literally you want to be buying when the crowd is selling out of fear. Let's also look at some other data that we will showcase from time to time. We're looking at the number of stocks that were above their 200-day moving average. Here we were talking about mid caps. They were so washed out to levels last seen in the middle of the 2022 crash. Guys, what comes next? A blistering rally. So while investors are looking at stocks and looking at markets and they are stunned, we aren't. You have to be early. You've got to be able to ask questions that few are able to entertain. Let's keep going. Remember when the VIX spiked above 40? And that got a lot of views. Well, guess what? We told you that's a great time to be buying stocks. Why? Because that's what the evidence was pointing to. And then you might be saying, wow, but everything's expensive. Oh, it wasn't. Here we were looking at the forward PE ratios for all of the major markets. And we were telling you that growth stocks in particular were on super sale. Last but not least, why should you be following the money? It's because if you focus on what's happening today, you're going to be missing tomorrow. We were in a phase 4 decline in early April. That is highlighted by sellers are in control. It is a rare window to go and buy stocks with both fists because what comes after is a blistering rally. So how do we bring this all home? Let me tell you. You need to be focused on data sets that most people aren't paying attention to. That's what we're doing for Big Money Insights. And guess what? This free weekly report is so amazing. It is loved by a lot of institutions out there. You can only imagine what our paid content is like, but this is going to set your research above everyone else. It's going to help you with your investors and your clients. Go ahead and sign up today.